Hi everyone. I'm Anna from GreenGeeks, and thank you for joining us for today's webinar on marketing, hygiene, and sustainable practices by our guest speaker, Warren Laine-Naida. I will introduce you, Warren, in a moment, but glad to have you here. Very excited. And real quick, I wanted to say a couple of words about GreenGeeks. For those of you watching who are not familiar with us, we're a 300% green energy web hosting provider, which essentially means we put back 3 times the amount of power we consume into the grid in the form of renewable energy. We have been recognized by the US EPA since 2009 as a green power partner, and we offer share hosting, reseller hosting, VPS, and dedicated server. Now, moving on to the fun webinar, I have some housekeeping items. If you have questions, please go ahead and put them in the Q&A, and Warren will be answering them at the end of his presentation. You can also chat in chat room, but remember to select everyone if you want everyone to see what you're discussing. And as always, we're recording this, so if you have to step away, don't worry. We will send you the recording in the next couple of days. And finally, we have enabled live transcription for this webinar. So you have the ability to enable them during the webinar by going to live transcript, then show subtitles. I'm going to introduce our team there today from GreenGeeks. Erica Barbosa should be assisting with the chat and the Q&A. Hey, welcome, Erica. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Thank you, Anna. And hi, everyone. My name is Erica Barbosa. I am from Costa Rica. And today I'm going to be in the chat, reading your comments and sharing some information. I hope you enjoyed today our webinar with Warren. Thank you for being here.
Okay, 1 second. I'm going to now introduce Warren. Warren's background of food and marketing led him from Canada to Germany, where he has lived since 1992. He teaches website design, SEO, and social media for private schools and community colleges. Warren's clients consist of small businesses, schools, and nonprofits, and his online marketing focus is on WordPress and other free-to-use digital tools. Warren has published 12 books, most recently A Beginner's Guide to SEO in English and German. He has also published 3 books together with Bridget Wheeler to support the online marketing needs of small businesses, schools, and nonprofits. Well, hello, Warren. Would you like to say hi and start the presentation?
Hello. Thanks very much for the introduction, Anna, and thank you very much for your support, Erica. I can never find the chat in these webinars, so it's really great that that you're supporting me. Thank you. Well, thanks everyone for coming out to the webinar today or tonight. I mean, for me, it's I'm in Germany, so it's 8 o'clock at night here, and I think you can see my screen now. Yes.
Yes.
Oh, excellent. Okay. So what I would like to talk about for the next few minutes is about marketing hygiene and sustainable practices. I think that's probably a suitable topic for GreenGeeks, and I think for all of us, you know, especially since Corona, hygiene is kind of an important topic. Really can't get away from it. And sustainability, well, I think that's probably something that's also on everybody's lips. There are 3 topics we really wanted to get into today. The first one is marketing hygiene, what goes into that. You know, it's more than just up-to-date content. For me, it's a frame of mind, and it connects agile, mindfulness, sustainability. So maybe some ideas on how we can activate this in our workplace, specifically online communications, so our website, social media, and things. Later on, I'd like to talk about generally sustainable marketing processes. We've all heard that term. That meeting could have been an email. And, if we're looking at saving energy or saving times or creating processes that are reusable, I think the whole idea of reusing and recycling, even our social media posts and processes is kind of important. And then the last thing would be our digital carbon footprint. We're hearing a lot about that lately, and I think that's pretty good because one of the things that really weighs our websites down is heavy content, heavy frameworks, and if we've got a lighter carbon footprint, that can actually benefit our SEO and our ranking in Google. So, it's a win-win for whatever we do here. A little bit about myself. My background originally, when I went to school in the 80s, I did marketing, but it was fax marketing. There was no internet when I was at university. So to put myself through university, I worked in food and hospitality. I was a waiter for many years, and after that, I got into the kitchen. I did my chef certification because I thought if I'm gonna market in restaurants, I need to understand the whole process about the food. And the chef part is important. We're gonna get to that because something that was very important in the kitchen. I don't know if any of you work in food business. That's really important. We can spin that over for our marketing. So I don't think anyone really forgets going into like 2000s, 2010, the rise of smartphone, the whole rise of mobile marketing. That is where we are today. The whole mobile moment happened 20 years ago. So that was a real change for me as well in the marketing. And today I teach. I'm into content creation with clients and for schools. And so it's kind of full circle. I started sort of as a waiter servant, and now I'm back to serving the next generation and seeing how I can assist with younger people who are just starting in the business. As Anna mentioned, I work together really closely together with Bridget Willard in the States, and we've written a 3-book set for online marketing, easy guides, and yeah, you can find those on Amazon. So I think pretty much everybody's mom, I mean, my mom, I say it now, I'm not even a mom, but when it comes to hygiene and taking care of things, moms are always saying, yeah, you clean, but it's not just about cleaning, it's about protecting yourself. And I think that's an important concept because if we keep things clean, if we keep our websites clean, if we keep our marketing clean, if we keep our processes clean, it will protect us. It will save us time, it will save us money, and in many instances, if we talk about online marketing, it can also protect us against data protection errors and things like that. So, moms were always right. Doesn't matter what they say, it seems to come back to us, and it's like, Mom, you're right again. So, more specifically, I think for marketing, keeping things hygienic, keeping things clean will help us win, basically. I mean, I put it here, speed wins. And I think that's really important because, if for no other reason to keep our marketing hygienic and sustainable, it's so that we can win. Yeah. Any process that we have in our businesses that is free of obstructions, yeah, that allows things to go from A to B faster and easier, it's going to be more effective, it's going to be more efficient because there'll be less friction. So if we can do things faster, if we can deliver on ideas and get them to clients faster than our competition, we're going to win that client. So being clean and being sustainable, actually, at the end of the day, means we are going to make money. We are going to be better businesses and serve our clients better. A small example I gave is the electric car. Electric cars go faster than gas-powered cars for one reason. There's less space, there's less traction between when you press the gas pedal and the wheels turn around. Power goes right from the battery to the wheels, and a gas car can't do that. And every point where that meets another moving part, you lose energy, there's friction. So I like that example. Okay, so how did I come across, or how did I get on the topic of hygiene marketing? Well, I write a lot of content, and so the idea of evergreen content always comes up. And you know, I had come across very often the idea of hygiene content. You know, this is probably a concept that everyone understands. You know, hygiene content is sort of considered evergreen content. It's informational content. It's not promotional. So we could write a blog post this year and it would still be valid next year because we're not selling things. This is very important for Google. Google recently came up with their helpful content update. And you know, so the idea of offering good, clean, useful, hygienic content, that's not a new idea. But when I was Googling this, I found that there was really nothing about marketing hygiene. There was a couple of Google ads for marketing for hygiene companies. There were 2 links from 2020, so 2 years old, getting on 3 years old, but mostly their focus was, again, hygiene content or helpful content. So this really interested me because, you know, SEO is something that's, you know, that I do, that I find important. So, you know, if I'm looking for keywords and niche markets for keywords, the whole concept of hygiene marketing, marketing hygiene, this is really not being talked about very much. And I think, you know, for anyone interested in the topic, this is an important point. Evergreen content, for you know, if you don't know what this means, again, this is content that's meant to create lasting value and added value for people. It's very important for SEO. And again, it's providing solutions to people's problems that without selling anything. Interestingly enough, there is a GreenGeeks webinar on evergreen email, which you might want to check out. I saw that. That's a very good unrelevant point. So again, evergreen and hygiene in our marketing, they go hand in hand. So I've thought about this previously. You know, it's not a new topic I've come up with. I mean, I didn't really come up with a topic, but not a new topic that I've been thinking about. And for me, what's really important is that the hygiene, the marketing hygiene, is as important to our business as our personal hygiene is. You know, if we weren't going to have a shower, we'd probably have hygiene issues. And it's exactly the same for our business. You know, marketing hygiene is the process of maintaining freshness in our marketing, freshness in our processes and our tools, so that our, not just our marketing, but our entire business has an overall good health and well-being. And you know, this goes just as well for our social media, for our email, especially for our website and online shop. There's facets of this in our search, in controlling our assets and our tactics. It's really an umbrella term that we can use and think about in all of our marketing. So I want to look at a couple of terms here. Just to sort of reinforce that we're on the right track, that this isn't something we're just making up. I think when we talk about something being hygienic, you know, we think about good things. We think about being healthy. If we're healthy, we are happy. We don't have stress. We feel ease. Yeah, we feel great. And I think that, you know, especially today, there's definitely a connection between feeling good about the products, that we buy and feeling good about ourselves, our environment. There's certainly a very great trend in biological products, organic products, and I think how we feel about our products, this feel good about what we buy and what we do also carries over to how we work. And I think that a lot of the social and political movements over the last few years reinforce that. In general, hygienic things are good things. They're beautiful. We are happy. We are healthy. There's less stress. It's clean. So if we think about marketing hygiene, we can say, okay, marketing that is good, marketing that is working for us. I'm sure anyone who has done media design or perhaps art, or I'm sure, this is not a concept that's completely foreign, the idea of the golden ratio. Okay, the golden ratio is seen very often in art, in nature, in mathematics. Even when we do web design, there is the idea that we can have larger parts and keep subdividing them dividing them into smaller parts, so that we have an image that is clean and makes us feel good, and our eye follows this curvature. Very often, seashells are shown to have this golden ratio. Now, the golden ratio is something that that has been around. The idea has been around for many, many years. Hundreds and hundreds of years, so you could argue that the idea of cleanliness, of an inherent goodness, is something not that we've imagined, but is something that we identify with, and that we can see in nature, and that we use that when we create art, when we create products that work well for us. So this idea of cleanliness and feeling good, this is in us. I don't think, I do think that we could all argue that we feel much better when we're doing something good than the opposite. So I think, the hygiene approach, the good, clean approach, is something that we have in all of us. On the opposite side, on the other side, of course, we all know what we mean by unhygienic. Okay, things that are dirty. Certainly in the last few years, unhygienic, we're washing our hands, we're wearing masks. Unhygienic is just really going to slow us down. It's bad. You can be sick or worse. I think, I know that we can see this in our marketing as well. Systems and processes and products that are not clean, they don't work very well. Unhygienic things are bad. I've got some examples here, for example, for our websites. When our websites have a high bounce rate, a very heavy loading speed, the mobile experience is not good. If any of these things happen, our website's not going to perform for us. They need to be optimized. And if we optimize anything, another word we're using is we're cleaning it, we're tidying it up. Okay, we can see this in our websites, our online shops, our email marketing, social media. So it doesn't really matter what part of our online marketing we're identifying. We can find things that are broken in there, things that need to be cleaned, things that need to be optimized so that they again work. I gave some examples here of unhygienic as bad, sort of bad marketing practices. We could rename those unhygienic marketing practices. No one likes pop-ups, no one likes overlays, processes for signing up, processes for buying things on the website, too many steps, simply bad marketing, fake reviews, tricking people to come onto our website for free things that actually have hidden costs. That's just bad marketing. Let's just call them unhygienic marketing. So there are some terms, in the marketing hygiene ecosystem that I would like to, I'd like to put out here. I mean, marketing, we all know what marketing means. All right, this is, what we undertake to promote the buying or selling of our products and services. Hygiene, good. I think we've got that. Anything that improves cleanliness and lead to a good health, not just of ourselves, but of our products. And sustainability. We mentioned sustainability at the beginning. And sustainability is the ability to maintain support of a process over an extended period of time. And I think that it's quite clear to us that if we get sick, then we can't support the process as a process ourselves. If we're sick, we're not going to be able to do what we need to do. If we don't take care of our bodies, then our overtime is going to be shortened. So as a person, we're not going to be very sustained. So I think these three, the idea of hygienic marketing, of sustainable marketing, they make sense. They aren't concepts that are out in left field. I think when we think of one term, we can very easily think of the other. So I'd like to bring three further terms in because I think they're also extremely relevant. The first is the idea of agile project management. Okay. Pretty sure everyone's heard of the agile process. It's an iterative approach. In some ways, there are connections to agile and DevOps. So we're taking small parts of the process and we are getting feedback on those. We are making sure that every piece alone works, so that if there is a problem, if something breaks, where I be able to immediately identify which piece that is, as opposed to throwing the whole project out and if something works, not really knowing where to start looking for it. So agile processes are also, in my opinion, extremely hygienic because we're identifying small pieces to make sure that they're clean. We have fewer headaches. Another point is the idea of mindfulness. Okay, this is also a term that we talk a lot about lately, and I don't think it's accidental because all of these terms really connect with each other. So if we're mindful, then we are aware of situations and we are accepting of situations. We're very much in the present moment. And I think, again, if we are able to be present, if we are aware of what we're doing, we're going to also be able to catch things that could break or things that are going to block our system or our processes before they have a chance to actually damage anything. Okay. The last is the idea of accessibility. And I see that there's also a GreenGeeks webinar. I believe there's two webinars on website accessibility, which is also quite good. So accessibility means, and I put fill in the blank, because you can put any word in there you want. Accessibility means that your website, your social media, your dinner, your car, whatever it is designed so it's accessible without any assistance. So if you combine these, if you put them all in the same pot, I think you've got very positive, efficient, and effective ways of looking at whatever product that you're doing or process that you're doing. All right. So these 6 words, they are my, my word tank, if you will, when it comes to better marketing, good marketing, as opposed to bad marketing. All right. I mentioned the Google helpful content, and I'm wondering if what Google is doing, if this fits in with our hygiene ecosystem. Okay. Google's helpful content, what they want to do is, again, they're looking for evergreen content. They're looking for content that answers people's problems, because that's why we go to Google. Google is an answering machine. We have a problem, we Google our problem to find the answer. It could be a minor problem, could be a major problem, but that's basically why we go to Google. And the problem could be we're simply bored and really want to know the words of a song or where we can buy something. But it's always to solve some sort of problem that we have. So if Google is looking to, can't think of the word, sorry, bouncing from German to English all day today. If Google is looking to reward our content for being helpful, that's probably a good thing. And you know, the idea of the idea of helpful is not just that, you know, our willingness to help. It's also that it's useful what we're doing, and that does sort of sound to me, if I go back to these other, if I go back here, that being useful and helpful sounds like a good thing to have part of our marketing. It sounds mindful. It sounds accessible. It certainly sounds like a good thing to be sustainable. It sounds hygienic, and it sounds agile. You know, if I really think about the idea of helpful, useful, giving help, sounds like it could be something that might fit well into our package. Okay? So I said at the beginning that I spent many years in the kitchen. I'm a certified chef from Canada, and I went into the kitchen because I had spent a lot of years marketing from the front of house restaurants. And, you know, you can't market a product if you haven't cooked it, you know, in restaurants, in my opinion. So I trained to be a chef. Now, one of the things that wasn't, you know, immediately so important when I started, but certainly by the time I moved out of the kitchen and started working on the web, was the HACCP process. Now, this stands for Hazard Analysis Critical Control Points. If you're working in the kitchen, it can be a real pain in the bottom, because it means that you need to make sure that your sauces are at the right temperature, that things cool down fast enough, that your potatoes are never outside of the water, that leftovers don't get touched twice, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, it's a very important part of restaurant, hotel, food preparation. And what it does is it controls preventable risk. Basically, the idea is if we can avoid potential for contamination in food, no one's going to get sick, no one's going to get food poisoning, and that's a good thing. So, you know, I was thinking about this, and I thought, this is something that could actually be useful in our marketing. Now, I'm not saying that we take the HACCP and start stamping out our marketing with it, but the ideas behind it is something that we could definitely use to recreate a type of safety workflow for our online marketing. So there are two main points to this. The first part is hazard analysis. Okay, now I've rewritten this. We're not talking about food. Now we're talking about marketing. So hazard analysis, this means that we're going to identify any risks that might be present in our processes. Okay, now, and again, this is important, again, for DevOps, for Agile, is evaluating potential failure. Okay, small example. If we upload a 2 megabyte photo into as a header image in our website. Now, we could immediately go, hazard analysis. Is there a risk? Is there a risk that our website's going to fail because of this? Possibly. It's not going to load very fast. Might not work well on a mobile device, you know? So we could take something very, very simple, like an image, and go, hazard analysis. Yes, I see potential problem. The second part would be critical control points. So what we do is we look at certain junctures, so key junctures within a process, to see which controls we can place to make sure there's no hazard or to reduce risk to an acceptable level. If we looked at the photo again, we could say, okay, it is 2 megabytes, but you know, that website is being used on a big screen at the university. So we kind of need a high definition photo. Where's the potential risk here? We could look at what? Our analytics. Is this web page that we're going to be putting the picture up, is it really getting a lot of visits from mobile phones? We could take a look and go, you know, no. Generally, we get 10% visits from mobile, but most of them we're getting views on desktop. So, okay, that's an acceptable risk for that instance. And then, of course, we could document that so that we're just not willy-nilly putting up 2 or 3 megabyte pictures. Okay, so I thought, you know, this is something that we could actually use in our marketing to keep our marketing hygienic, to keep our marketing good. Now, there are 7 points to this. The first one we talked about, hazard analysis, and then the second one, again, critical control points. And I did say that we would want to document this. So the third part of our hazard analysis process would be coming up with procedures, monitoring them. I think anyone who does online marketing already does this. You know, we monitor our analytics, we monitor our followers, we monitor our contacts. So this isn't something that's completely foreign to us. The next 2 steps, we have corrective action and verification. So what we should do here is when we've got our documentation about what maybe went wrong with our website or what went wrong with our social media post, that if we've got this documented, we can make sure it doesn't happen again. Now, the first part of corrective action should be pre-planned. This is really important. And I think we all do this anyway. Maybe we don't call it corrective action, but we have processes in place already for what if our website goes down? You know, what's our plan of action? We already have this pre-planned. If someone sends us an email and complains about our product, we don't have to think what to do. We probably should also have this documented and pre-planned so that our response is immediate, so there's less friction. Okay. This next part, verification, again, part of our documentation that what we've done fixed the problem. Okay. And that'll help us next time, you know, because some problems really can't guess at. Sometimes they come at you from completely left field. So verifying that what we've done actually worked, okay? And then our last 2 parts would be our training and our commitment. I think the training is really important so that, again, for anyone new, they know exactly what to do. Then our commitment, you know, to our marketing, our commitment to our team, our commitment to our business is that our marketing, our good marketing is a priority for us. It's not a nice to have. Our marketing is not going to be hygienic when we have time. Okay. If our marketing is unhygienic and our processes start to fail, then we're going to have all the time we want because our business is going to go out of business. So it's probably a really good idea to make that commitment right at the beginning. It's simply a commitment not to fail. It's a commitment to be the best that we can be. So I talked about the idea of this image. Seems a little banal, you know, okay, what's the big deal about a large image? But we know that our website could have more than one image. It has many images. And slowing down our websites, you know what does that the most? It's images. Images slow down our websites more than anything else because they're too big. We don't optimize them. Okay, we like really big images. So we could use this HACCP process for our website images. And I broke it down here. And if anyone would like, I can do a screenshot of this, or you can do a screenshot of this, and I can send it to you later. So if we're thinking about, we want to upload some images and we want them to be hygienic, we could say, what's the hazard analysis? Okay, unoptimized images. Okay, they're going to be too big. And how can that happen? Maybe we have user-generated content. Maybe users can upload images onto our website. Okay, so we need a workflow for that. Okay, we can identify control points. We can make it, really hard-coded that, hey, no images above 300K. All right, we do a triage process, to measure time differences, just really see, here's the difference to a 300K. Here's the difference between that and, say, a 1 megabyte image. That'll really give us the proof that what we're doing is really well. Our monitoring. Okay, do we monitor once a week? We monitor once a month. Shouldn't be any less than that. We can put our corrective action into place, so we can actually create an optimization process. We cut the picture, we optimize it, we upload it, we test the load, and then any fails and successes, we explain them, because that's really, really good for training, because new people are going to say, why are we doing this? Okay, and clients, we send off our websites to clients and they take over, and then their website load speed really goes to the roof. Well, we can explain to them also with our documentation how to avoid that. Okay, so I think all of these processes, all these steps in a restaurant, in a hotel restaurant, food poisoning countermeasure program is very, very useful to us in our marketing. We can do this for images, we can do this for emails, we can do this for our social media, we can do this for our client calls. It really is being aware, being mindful of what we're doing. And I think as we move forward, that's really, really important, because I do it, you do it, everyone does it. We upload things onto our website, we use social media, we answer and send emails, we use all of these tools without thinking, because they're so easy. We've got everything we need to run our business in our hand on our phone. So there's a disconnect between what exactly it is we're doing and how that might slow down our business, might make our marketing dirty. Okay, so I think, the idea of marketing hygiene and what we can do to identify aspects that are slowing down our processes and contaminating our marketing. I think we've talked about that. Two other points I would like to talk about that obviously are related is sustainability, because very often green marketing and sustainable marketing, they get confused, and they're very different. For something to be sustainable, we need to be able to replicate it. It needs to be reliable, and we need to be able to measure it. So it fits really perfectly into our hygiene marketing processes. It needs to be useful to rectify any errors. So anything sustainable, it didn't begin sustainable. It fixed something that was broken, and now it's no longer broken. We can use this to eliminate our current problems and also prepare for our future problems. Okay, what sustainability really means is, back to us winning, because that's what this is all about. Making money and winning. Is sustainability keeps our business, keeps it balanced, keeps it profitable, and it keeps it responsibility. It keeps us responsible, because we're not alone. Yeah. There's our clients, there's our customers, there's us, there's the community we live in, there are the tools we use. And if one of those connections goes, then it all falls apart. So the idea of responsibility is extremely important in not only sustainability in our processes, but also for why we are keeping our marketing clean, because we have a responsibility. Depletion of resources, sure, yeah, trees, et cetera, et cetera. Do you know what else is a resource? Our time is a resource. Our sanity is a resource. Our happiness and our health is the biggest resource that we personally have. And if we don't create sustainable processes, if we don't allow ourselves to create clean systems in our marketing, we just take more time to do it. And then we have less time to do something else. And then, well, then we're 80 years old and then it's all over. Okay. The difference between green marketing and sustainable marketing, because they're often confused, is green marketing use strategies to promote environmental awareness and protection, and that's great. But sustainable marketing encompasses green marketing, okay? Now it goes beyond the environment, and we're talking social issues, political issues, economic issues, okay? So if you're confused at any time, there's the difference, all right? The last point I would like to talk about is the idea of our footprint, our carbon footprint. I don't know if anyone's done this. Maybe it's because I'm in Europe and we're doing this and we're just totally fanatical about this. But your website contributes to the environmental problems that we have on this planet. Okay, it's all your fault. Well, and my fault, but we're really going for better websites. You can measure the carbon footprint of your website. I measured the GreenGeeks website, and GreenGeeks website is cleaner than 73% of other websites tested. Congratulations, guys. That's great. Okay. You can measure yours. You go to www.websitecarbon.com. Okay. It's important because the internet consumes a lot of electricity. I tell you, when I was a kid, and that was a long time ago, we had the oil crisis. We're talking early 1970s. You know, there was no oil. What were we going to do? We had to, we had to save electricity. You know, we had to wear sweaters and keep the heat off. And that was 50 years ago. And now we're back to it. 50 years later, we're still looking at saving our planet and saving electricity. So it's like my kids are doing what I was doing as a kid. It hasn't changed. Okay. So what we can do is not just for our website, the size of the website, there's so many things that we can do. We can repurpose code. We can be fussy. That means we do it once. We do it once in a clean, proper way. We don't need to do it again. Yeah. We can look at our own processes, but we can also look at the processes of companies that we're working together with and our clients. We don't need to take every client. If a client does not fit in with our processes and commitments that we've made to hygienic marketing and to sustainability, we don't need to serve them, because if we do, they're going to break our system. And then all of our hard work will be in for nothing. And the money that they paid us, it will be gone. I mean, money goes eventually. No client's going to give you money for the rest of your life. So that's also important. It's not just an internal, it's also an external issue. Here's an example of a dirty and a clean website. I just did this last week. This was the website before we started. It was dirtier than 60% of other websites and had a loading time of 48 out of 100. Now their website is cleaner than 70% and they've got a performance of 90. So it's in WordPress. The content is exactly the same. First thing, the biggest thing we did, the thing that made the big difference, was we took Elementor out of WordPress and we just built it with Naida. Okay, that got us the biggest boost. We optimized the images. We brought in the Google fonts locally. I mean, that didn't really make a huge difference, but in Europe, in Germany, we have the data protection. And there are companies being fined for using Google fonts, that not locally, so by bringing them in. So we did that. It saved us a little bit of time, but it was an important thing. We also then added and optimized it going forward, because now this website is out of my hands and the client's going to be doing this. So this is important as well, that they had something that kept any new images optimized, and also kept things like JavaScript and co tight. So this is a great example, I think, of one step. And ironically, this was a website for a climate NGO. So they were really, really happy that we did this, because it's something they can advertise, and I think that's great. Everyone's happy. Good. So marketing. We can use these ideas to manage all of our marketing. Okay, our marketing is an ecosystem. They're not standalone. Everything is connected with everything else, especially online. Everything we do can be repurposed and touches something else. Okay, so we can prune our old posts in social media. We can respect permission. We can prune our sitemap on the website. We can ask people to unsubscribe from emails so they're not getting them. Okay, we can recalibrate all of our return on investment in analytics, and we're going to have to do that because, with Google next year in G4, we're going to have to recalibrate everything anyway. And SEO is probably, is kind of my hobby horse, but yeah, those key phrases that were so important, that are they from last year, or are they from this year, or are they for next year? We're constantly, if we're going to have a fit marketing, we have to handle our marketing just like ourselves. We don't go to the gym once a year. We go to the gym once a week, or twice a week, or 3 times a week. And that attention to our fitness for our body, we also should, use for our marketing. Keep it fit, keep it clean, and then we benefit. Yeah, so I said originally, I said at the beginning, sorry, Dinglish, we call it here. I said at the beginning that our marketing hygiene is as important to our business as our personal hygiene is to our bodies. I'd like to change that. I'd like to now say that our marketing hygiene is as important to the success of our business as personal hygiene is to the quality of our life. Okay? Make our processes easier, make them better, more durable, make them anti-fragile, make them iterative, break down any barriers, make your processes faster. You get from A to B with least resistance, you're gonna win, okay? And yeah, if you can deliver anything faster and better than your competitors, you will win. So speed wins, cleanliness wins, sustainability wins. That's, oh, where did my slides thing go? My slide thing's gone. Oh, thank you. That was it. Everything is connected to everything else.
Thank you, Warren.
You're welcome.
I think we have some questions in the Q&A.
Yeah. Okay, so is that the chat?
It's the Q&A at the bottom.
F&A.
Oh, it's Q&A. Yes.
Oh, right. I've got the German translation. We call it F&A.
Okay.
Okay, so should I just answer these out loud?
Yes, please.
How to secure my WordPress website for free. Something like Immunify 360 is good. Secure your website, like exactly how? Maybe Adnan, you could
maybe like yeah, like
explain that a little more.
Room. Maybe in the chat room.
Yeah, that would be great, Adnan. My website address, it was in the you can Google me. Okay, I'm the only Warren Laine-Naida on the planet. That's, I swear to God, it's the best SEO decision I ever made was to take the name of my wife and add it to mine. So Warren Laine-Naida, Google me, you find my website. I'm on Twitter. So definitely, Adnan. And I do have a YouTube channel as well. And check Amazon for the books. Find me, contact me, and I'd be happy to answer any questions on Twitter, whatever you like. What do I mean by SEO? Search engine optimization. So keyword research, having people find you. Basically, people who have never heard of you, them finding you. That's SEO. You don't need a website for it either. Okay, Google indexes everything. So yeah. Oh, okay, there you found the answer. All right, sorry. Give an example of a client from whom he would not want to take. Yeah, I think, you know, sorry?
It's a great question from Shannon.
Oh, yeah. So I turn down clients for various reasons. I think the biggest reason and the most recent is that they are going, that what they want will slow me down too much. Clients who don't have clean processes mean that I need to access them, and this is just going to, it's going to slow me down. It can possibly dirty my processes. Okay. What I expect from clients is that we're on the same wavelength. Okay. Now, it doesn't mean I won't do a website of perhaps exotic dancers. If their website is being kept up to date and they understand everything, that's no problem. But basically, a client that is going to take too many of our resources for what has to be done, they need to understand what we're doing. The last one that we did, the climate NGO, this was very good because they wanted to be, they knew where they wanted to be, and they knew what they would have to do, and they are really part of that solution. But a client who doesn't care, who's not interested in these things, then I wouldn't want to take them, because you need to be on the same wavelength. Client relationships are really important. So David, oh yeah, sustainable web design. I never even mentioned that because it's just so yes. Sustainable web design, I think this is really, really important. I think, what we do to focus on is keeping it lean. Now, I have a lot of colleagues who work who use Elementor, who use page builders and things, but for us, this is the first thing that never happens. It just goes. We say websites, they're not built in page builders. That's the first thing. I think as well, what we try to do is work really incrementally. A website's never finished, so we'll push out bits of the website over time, like, as what can be put out quickly, so that the client can, as quickly as possible, start to get into the process. That's also really important to us, and the clients are often very surprised. They go, "Oh wow, we don't have to wait till it's finished." It's like, no, it's your website. You're going to be finishing it. So as soon as we've got something built that they can get into, we give them a workshop and explain, and they start to get comfortable. They start to do it, so that when the website's finished, they're really happy that we're out of the picture and they can move on. So that saves us time. And then if there's any questions, any concerns, any sticky points, that they will have this answered already. But again, David, connect with me on social media or on the website or something, and I'd be very happy to exchange this back and forth some more. And maybe over time you need some more help, then I'd be very happy to connect.
Thank you. Thank you, Warren. I think that's a whole other webinar on green sustainable web design.
Oh yeah, it's
thanks for the idea.
Yeah, no, for sure. There's so much that can be done. I really excited about this, and really thankful that that we did this webinar.
Yes, absolutely. I don't see any other questions here in the Q&A.
Okay.
So, but everybody can still connect with you after if they come up with a question, right? In social media or on your
Anytime.
website. Or they can
Yeah.
write to us, to me. They have my email.
For sure. For sure. Yeah, that would be great. Oh, here comes one.
Oh.
Okay, yeah, David. Yeah,
Yes.
I'm looking forward to that, David. Thank you. Excellent.
Oh,
okay.
Great. Well, thank you so
Good.
much for your time, and thank you to everyone who stayed till the end. And I wanted to say to everybody that we have our website, our webinar website is greengeeks.com/webinars. And if you're interested, we have one coming up in November on the 10 best web design practices to create engagement. So if you're interested in web design practices for engagement, make sure you go to the webinar page and sign up. We're also going to be sending up an email, of course, for you to sign up. And well, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Warren. Thank you, Erica.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Anna, and thank you, Warren.
We
You have
will
a great
see
day.
you. We will see you soon.
I hope so. That would be great. All right.
Thank you.
Thanks
Bye,
again.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.